Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video we are going to be continuing on our forging in the bathroom series, and today we're actually going to be forging a toilet paper roll dispenser. The type that hangs on the wall, not the type that stores toilet paper. So hopefully you all will enjoy this video and enjoy forging along. Okay, the first step in this process, I have cut a piece of 1/4 inch thick by 1 inch wide, or 6 mil thick by 25 mil wide by 10 inch long, or 250 millimeters long bar stock. And I've laid it out as follows. I have made a cut 4 inches in, or 100 millimeters in. I have made a mark on one edge with a center punch 3 inches from that cut line, which is 75 mil. And then I left an additional 3 inches of material, or 75 mil of material on the end. This here is going to get forged out by forging down at that mark and drawn out. This is the part that will actually swoop around and become the holder portion. The 4 inch mark and lines, that's going to get forged down, and that's going to become our leaf ends. If you remember, like the towel bar, again, video is linked up in the description. These are going to have a very similar finial. That way I keep the theme in my restroom all the same. So I'm actually going to grip it by the cut end first, and we're going to work out this end, because this end is the simplest to do. We're going to draw this out, and then we can come back and actually start messing around with the split ends. This makes it a lot cleaner of a process to forge versus starting with something that we split these ends out and then they're in our way when we're trying to forge out the rest of the piece. All right, we're going to find our mark on the anvil. Half on, half off blows. We're going to start setting that shoulder down and forging that 1 inch material down. And we're going to have to stop, take out any cupping or any fish lipping we were having. Keep drawing this material down. That's cold enough. I need to get another heat on it. You want to hit this hard enough that you're getting a through hit. That means the transfer of energy of your hammer is going all the way through the piece to the anvil and coming back up to rebound your hammer. If you're not, and you're just simply light tapping like this, you're going to get a bunch of T-boning. So it'll spread up here and it'll spread on bottom, but it won't thicken out the middle as you forge, and that'll create a problem. All right, we're going to start this process by making some courtesy bends right off the gate. So bending these out away from one another, basically making this thing do the splits. Then we'll come to the horn, we'll drive these out a little bit, drive the splits away from each other best we can. Then I'm going to start knocking these down. Again, I'm just trying to get that split further enough away so this way I can work on these as individuals. Pull this back here. There. That's got those away from each other enough that now they can be worked on. So there's a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm bending away and then I'm flipping it and bending away. That gets them to split this way like my fingers. And that gives me reach that then I can hit on both ends and get them spread apart like you see here. If you try to spread them like, you know, you might be able to drive this down on something and work them back and forth like that and then try to drive the tips away. But I find it's a lot harder to get in there where you need to be versus bending it away, then, you know, bending it away, bend it out, flatten it, and continue to bend it out like we've done here. So let's go ahead and get this hot and we'll forge the little motifs on the end. Okay, so we're going to stand it upright like this. We'll put a small chamfer, a small little taper on this end. Drive that down. I should mention I'm not hitting in the center of my anvil. I am, but I'm not touching. My hammer's not banging the anvil, it's only staying on the material. If you're going to have a problem with doing that and you can't reach the other side of your anvil surface to make sure that you have clearance, go to the hardy hole of your anvil and use the corner of your hammer there for reach issues. Or go to the step or corners of your anvil and work like that. So this way you don't ding up your anvil needlessly so. So now I'll heat this tip and take it to the same stage. Just like before, you'll put a little tip on there. Nice short blunt tip, taper for our little motif. As I get closer to that tip, come over to the hardy hole of the anvil. Just sharpen and sweeten that up a bit. All right, there we go. We've got both tips forged equally. Now we can move on to the next stage, which is to forge the offset in these pieces. So forge the offsets in these pieces. And in order to do that, we're going to have to knock the bend back out of this a little bit. We're going to need to straighten it some. All right, we're good and hot. Straighten that out a little bit. And I'm actually going to use the hardy hole of the anvil versus trying to go all the way to the other side of the anvil. I'm going to come right past our taper, half on, half off blows over the hardy hole. Drive this down, take out the swell. And there we have it. Sometimes it helps to think creatively about your anvil top. You know, is the pritchel hole large enough that you could do something? You know, that might create a nice a nice outside curvature on a forging versus a flat line. Again, keeping these hardy holes dressed nicely to where you can drive something over it like so, using half on half off blows, and you know, there you go, you can create something. So it's a lot shorter between here and here. In my case, this is just a little over, this is about 2.5 inches versus trying to span a full 6-inch face and drive clear over here and be working awkward. So really get to know your anvil and what you can do with it. Okie doke. We're going to bend this leaf, again, starting nice and tight at the leaf itself. Then we're going to work this curvature right on around. It's going to want to kind of buck around on you a little bit and curve weird sometimes, but that's okay. You can always dress that back. All we're looking for here is a very similar curve. Again, make sure you don't booger up. Don't booger up your leaf there. We don't want that. So there we have it. That finishes that finial. So at this point, I'd like to take and point out a little something here that is oftentimes not discussed in designing ironwork. It is just as important to have function as it is to have form. A lot of times we think that those two are exclusive unto themselves, but they are both one and the same. You can have both good form, which is the finial or the design, and you can have excellent function. One thing you can't trade off there, though, is again, those could be reversible. You could have terrible form, great function, and then you could have terrible function but great form. So you really want to have a nice medley of those two things. The reason why I've chose these to be the way they are is these are like braces for any pull down forces that this thing may encounter when you're vigorously pulling your toilet paper off the roll there. And so not only is it got a decorative element to it, but that element has a function. That form has a function. So hopefully you guys will keep that in mind when you're designing stuff like this. So because we're going to be coming out with the actual loop here for the toilet paper roll to hang on, it's going to have torquing forces like this. So the more bracing we can put in this direction will stop any pulling down from happening and it pull out of our sheetrock in our bathroom and things like that. So just something to keep in mind when you're designing stuff like this. Now, we've got that end done. Got it where I like. Now I can grab it right like so. And now we can put the final touches on this end and bend it around. Okay, now on this very long end of the bar, I'm going to put a little short taper on the very, very end, drive it out. All right, I'll get that heated up one more time. I'm going to go over the far edge. I'm going to do half on, half off blows. I'm going to set that little lobe down. Work out some of this stock behind it so it has a much nicer transition up to it. And if you notice, I'm working on this fairly cold, and that's just because the piece, it gets hot so quick, and it also cools so quickly. So there's not a lot of time in between heats here. So just something to keep in mind when you're working with small, tiny stock. You're going to be very rapid with these. All right, I'm going to round up behind that lobe, just like I did before. I'm going to work that back into the rest of the piece. And we're going to start taking off that square. All right, hopefully you guys can see that. Looks really nice. Now we're going to continue that right on down. We're going to round this all the way back up to this crook right here, this offset that we forged. There we go, nice and rounded up. Now that we've got that done, we're going to draw out our little lobe, and it'll be time to bend it up. Okay, just like before, we're going to go to the near side edge of the anvil. And I'm going to try to just focus on pulling out a little bit of that lobe. Not too crazy. Hammer on top to sweeten that finial piece back up, or the spine. Everything in line, and there you have it. Tiny little there. So now everything is in the right orientation. Next thing is to go ahead and bend this up and make it fit our toilet paper. Okay, we've got a bit of a low heat here. I'm going to go ahead and bend this around a mandrel. This isn't entirely necessary, a mandrel is not, but I find that it helps me just, you know, keep an eye on how things are progressing. And I like that little bit of extra comfort there of being able to see how it progresses around it. Of course, you can do this on the horn of your anvil. I just happen to want to have just a wee bit more control. And it definitely gives you just that. It gives you just a little extra control when bending something like that around, and then keeping it all nice and flush and really good to go. Everything's sitting appropriately. So you can see that's got a bit of a rise to it. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that back down. It doesn't need to tilt down towards the tip. We don't want the roll to run off. So it's okay if it rises ever so slightly towards the base here, because it's better for the roll to work its way into the corner versus off the end of the roll there. All right, get this brushed nicely. There we go. Looks pretty darn good to me, if I don't say so myself. All right, so I know I'm going to get this question in the comment section. What size is your roll of toilet paper? The size that I buy, and I get the cheapo brand, is 4.5 inches wide and about 2.25 inches to the center of the roll. And those are the measurements you need to go off of, not my measurements, but that. The center of the roll is here to the outside, plus a little, and then the width of the roll is this plus a little, is what you'll need to come up with your own. If you buy super extra ply or whatever, some brands, or double rolls or whatever, then you need to make your toilet paper roll holder to fit your application. It will not, it won't work out the same. So that means you might have to alter. If you get the big rolls, you might have to draw this out a bit more, leave a little extra on. Again, make this to suit yourself and your own bathroom needs. Okay, everyone, so there you have it. Another little project around the house, another little honeydew item done and taken care of. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and always subscribe. That's a great option if you want to see more of my content. And I would also like to just say thank you very, very much to all of the great channel members here on this channel that make this content possible. I really couldn't do it without you all. So thank you all so much. God bless you, and we'll catch you on the next one. Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video we are actually going to be working on a toilet paper roll dispenser. This is a continuation. Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video we are going to be continuing on our Forging in the Bathroom series. You can check out the playlist on that down in the description down below. And we're going to be making a toilet pole. Man. Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Man. Ah! Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video we are going to be continuing on with our series Forging in the Bathroom, and we will be working on a toilet paper roll holder. And this is the type of paper. Jeez, can't get it today.